I monetized this brand new faceless YouTube channel in under 30 days, only using AI. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it and how you can do it too. So the channel name is Adam Talks Finance. As you can see right here, I just got it monetized. And so in this video, like I said, I'm going to share with you the exact niche approach that I use to pick the niche for the channel. I'll share with you the ideation strategy that I use to be able to pick topics for this channel. And I'm even going to show you exactly how I went about producing the videos only using AI. Now, if you're unfamiliar with me, you're new to the channel, my name's Adam Del Duca. I've been doing faceless YouTube for almost 10 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars in ads revenue earned, over 2 million subscribers across my channels. Here are just some of the income figures. And I've also helped many other individuals grow and scale their own faceless YouTube channels, like my student Steve getting to 4K a month on his channel, Austin, while having 2 kids and a family and a busy job, building his military channel up to 4K. And I even helped my student Eric quit his 9-to-5 job and make 6 figures a year from YouTube. All right, so let's get into how I was able to monetize this channel. So just for some context for you, I started this channel September 29th, 2025, and I first uploaded on October 1st, 2025. So you can see the join date is the 29th, and then a couple days later, I got everything set up and I started to upload videos. So the first thing I had to focus on was I had to focus on niche selection. So what I needed to do is determine what niche do I want to select for this channel. And so things I was thinking about was, do I want to go for a very narrow niche, a very broad niche? How many monetization methods do I need for this channel, etc. So what I was really focusing on is addressing a pretty large number of individuals, because again, I just wanted to be able to get more viewership quickly on this channel and just see how many videos it would take only using AI to get monetized. Now, what I wanted to do was find niches that had moderate to low saturation levels and had 2 or more monetization methods, so that I wasn't just relying on ad revenue to make money from the channel once I got monetized. So what I decided to do was go after a niche that I already knew existed. This is not some breakout niche. This is not something where you need to find a 1 in a million opportunity to do. Literally, this is a pretty saturated niche as it is, but I decided to use the tool TubeLab. And what I decided to do was go through the dividend or the niche finder to see what the saturation score was, and also look at formats across YouTube that I could potentially differentiate away from. So as you can see here within the niche finder, when I searched dividend investing, it came up with a whole bunch of different channels in this particular niche. And so what I did was I analyzed the niche. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you exactly how I went about doing this. So if I go into TubeLab right now and I sign in, and then you're going to see the niche finder here, okay? So if I go dividend investing, you're going to see here that there's a whole bunch of different channels in this niche that come up, all right? So my goal here is to look at how saturated is this niche, because the more saturated, usually the harder it is to grow, all right? So you can see here that this score is rather unsaturated. It's pretty profitable with a very high RPM of between $9 and $15 per 1,000 views. And there's a pretty good market size, which means that there's quite a few people out there that would be willing to watch the videos that I'm going to be making, which is obviously very important. So these are the considerations that I thought about when putting the video together and the channel together overall. All right. So next, I needed to think about the format now. So remember, the format of a video relates to its length, structure, and appearance, okay? So you can have a long, you can have a short video, you can have a super long video. Then the structure is, are we going to be doing how-to videos, listicle videos, story videos? And then we have the appearance. So are we going to be using animations, third-party footage, stock footage, stick figures? There's so many different appearances these days on YouTube. So I thought to myself, I want something that is brand new within the niche. So as I was looking at channels here, I saw there was whiteboard, there was third-party footage, you had here like screen recordings and other stuff like this. So I was like, well, I don't really want to do what everyone else is doing. So what I decided to do was pick a differentiated format after doing this analysis. And the reason why I wanted to pick a differentiated format is because when you add new supply into the market, it's going to make your content more appealing because it's going to be more novel, right? It's as if, a company that releases food products, for example, they come out with a brand new product. All of a sudden it's like, wow, I've never tried this before. I'm going to go take a look. Well, that's more or less what you're doing when you're differentiating the format of your videos. So what I decided to do, and I'll share with you in a second, is use a different appearance, okay? I wasn't really using a different length of video. I wasn't really using a different cadence of video when it comes to like documentaries or explainers. What I decided to do was to create videos that were Simpsons based, right? So a very different appearance across whatever else was in the market, which was again, screen recordings, whiteboard videos, etc. So we'll get to how to make those videos a little bit later on, but right now I'm just giving you the outlay of how I thought about setting up the channel. So next, what I want to go through is the topic selection. So how did I start picking video ideas for the videos when I started uploading videos? So I wanted to really find outlier topics that I can improve upon or modify for the channel. So if we take a look at this video right here, it's one of the higher performing ones. Literally just with AI, this one of my first videos got 13,000 views, brought in, a quarter of my subscribers so far. And so how did I come up with this topic? Because the topic is how to actually live off only $300,000 in the bank. So what I did was I looked at role model channels in the niche, right? And this is why you do the niche research to see what other channels are doing well, so you can use them as reference points. So what I looked at was the channel Chris Invests. And what I noticed is that they had some high performing videos that were kind of similar to what I wanted to make, right? So as you can see right here, one of their popular videos is you can live off $500,000 in the bank and do nothing else. Now you may be wondering, how do you see which videos are getting all these views per hour? And you can use vidIQ to do just that. So if I open up YouTube, I'm going to show you exactly how I went about doing this. So if I go here and I go Chris Invests, again, you need the vidIQ paid extension to do this, but it is well worth the money. So if we go right here, you're going to see the extension, and all I need to do is click view trending videos, and I can see which videos are trending. You see it's still getting 18 views per hour. And so you can see here that people are still interested in this topic. So I thought, okay, that's obviously a topic that I can use as a basis point. And so that's how I found the topic. But one thing I want to really highlight is that I didn't just emulate the exact topic. I thought, well, if people want to know how to live off only 500K, they'd probably be even more interested in learning how to live off 300K, right? And so that's even more appealing because it's a lower threshold for people to get towards. So at that point, I had the topic for that video, and I basically used that exact same process for all the videos I uploaded on the channel to get to the point where I'm at right now, getting monetized in less than a month. So as you can see here, it's not even the end of October, and we already got monetized. So the next thing is the script writing process, okay? Because again, I'm trying to just run through this process to see how easy it would be for anyone that was having a family, working a 9-to-5, have extracurriculars, make this really sustainable for them as a way to build a channel that's very low effort because of AI. So we needed to have good quality information because people in this niche on investing and dividend investing are very savvy. We want to add in jokes because we want to make sure it's still lighthearted, it's engaging, people will actually enjoy the videos, and we want to connect the outro of our videos to another video on the channel so they all start recommending one video to another and you start to connect your videos like a web. So what I decided to do was I decided to use Subscriber AI as my script writing tool. Okay, you got to use the right tool for the job. So here's what this process looked like, okay? And I'm going to walk you through exactly what it looks like, but what I'm also going to share with you is just the process. So what I did was I basically first went into Subscriber. And what I did was I identified a channel that I wanted to emulate. So I found another channel in this niche. And you can see here that I basically just inputted it to be able to have the script writing tool write like a channel that was already doing well in my niche. As you can see here, I added it in, and I've made quite a few scripts based on exactly that channel voice so that I could attract viewers that were interested in other financial channels so that I can get more viewership on my own. So what I did was basically I created a framework that the tool could use to be able to create scripts around. So the next thing that I did, which was very simple, is now all I had to do was go to the chatbot. And so with the chatbot, whenever you want to create a script, all you have to do is hit create a script, and then you just fill out what you want. So here, what I decided to do, right, is I decided to enter in, create a script about living off $300,000 for my channel, structure it like an explainer video, and focus on doing it even if you earn a low income, include a lot of jokes, make it 20 minutes. All right. So basically, I was telling the tool what I wanted as an output, and it created the output right here. And so then I ended up getting my script, right? So you can see here, if I go into the actual history, you're going to see that I basically just entered in, where's 300K, that prompt, and then it started to generate a script in the canvas for me. So you can see part of the script, I had to regenerate it, so it's not all right here. But the whole point is it took me maybe 2 or 3 minutes because I just put in this initial prompt that I just showed you. It's saying, wow, that's a great idea. It's suggesting angles that we can use, and then it generated the script for me right away. So it takes like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, right? So it's a very easy process to follow. So the next thing that I did after that was I decided, okay, well now I need to make a voiceover for the video. So I'm going to be showing you something super cool in a minute that's going to get your scripts and voiceovers to be really crystal clear. And this is a hack that you definitely want to stick around for. So I thought to myself, okay, I don't want to just use regular 11 Labs because I'm thinking to myself, everyone's using that. Again, is there a better way to use this where I could use tools that maybe people already have? So what I decided to do was use CapCut, and I really wanted to use a voice that was going to be identifiable for a Western civilization audience like Canada, US, Mexico, where the ad rates are going to be higher so we can make as much money as possible. And I wanted to make sure that the voice was as unidentifiable with AI as possible so people weren't leaving me comments like, wow, this is AI, this is not good quality, etc. So I decided I'm going to use CapCut because many people are already using this. So if I can save, some people money on doing this, I will. You may or may not know that they have a text-to-speech option here. And so what I basically did was I got the script out of Subscriber. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to open up a script and I'm going to show you how this works. So if I go here, what I can do is I can copy some of this and I can go back into the text changer. So if I go to CapCut, what you're going to see is this in real time. And I'm going to show you exactly how I went on picking a voice and then what that looks like. So here you have the voice changer right here. So all I would do is listen to the voices to see which ones I wanted to go through.
Hi there. Feel free to enter your text here and...
So I thought to myself, okay, does that sound good? That's a pretty popular voice. So I landed upon this one right here.
Hi there. Feel free to enter your text here and select a voice to try it out.
So to me, that sounded pretty good, but I didn't go and just drop in my script right away. What I did, and this is a really good hack if you're using AI voiceover tools, is I actually removed the line breaks. So instead of having all these paragraphs, I removed them using the line break tool. And now I had one big chunk, so it just continuously talked. So if I go back to CapCut and I enter this in and I hit his voice, it's going to generate a voiceover for me in a matter of seconds. Again, it's probably just as long as using 11 Labs, but now let's hear what it sounds like.
Here's where most people get tripped up by the traditional retirement advice, and it all comes down to something called the 4% rule. You've probably heard of it. The idea is that you can safely withdraw 4% of your investment portfolio each year without running out of money over a 30-year retirement.
All right, so as you can see here, the quality of that voiceover is pretty good. Again, if you're already paying for this tool, then you're in really good shape. So now obviously you just output the voiceover, but there is a limit of 10,000 characters. So after you've run it through here, you're going to get maybe 2 or 3 or 4 files depending on how long of a voiceover you're using. So here I just basically put the different files into CapCut. and then I just outputted one full file. Okay, so now here we've got the script, we've got the voiceover. So now what we need to do is we need to move on to the video production, otherwise known as the editing. So I wanted to find a way to be able to make these videos in a very low effort, low skill, or low experience required fashion. So again, those were more or less the requirements because again, I understand most people don't have a lot of editing skill, and nor do I. So what I decided to do was use the tool TubeGen. All right, so how TubeGen works is the following. You basically enter in your voiceover and it's going to create what you see here, which is the rendition of it. So it's going to create a transcript based on the voiceover you upload. So I'm going to show you what this looks like right now. So if I open up TubeGen AI, you can go under the AI tools and then you can go voice to images and then you can select the style and then upload the transcript, and that's when you end up getting to the point where we just were, which you have something like this, right? So if we recover our last session, you end up getting to the point where you can see the full script based on what you uploaded, okay? So then the next step is just turning that voiceover into all the images and videos that you're gonna use to put into CapCut to make your video. So here I went to generate images, and now you can see here I made a custom style. So basically I used this prompt, which was a cartoon character in the Simpsons style. He has yellow skin, short dark brown hair, and a comb over, and wears black sunglasses. All images need the main character to have the same outfit and design. So I'm using a few more credits because I want something different and higher quality. And so I'm using the custom 60 credits per image. And so what I decided to do was use about 120 images per video, which is again going to be about 7,320 credits per video to be able to create the video itself. All right, so as you can see here, basically what it does is you set the image count and then it's going to output images, but it's also going to output them as video files. So basically you don't have to start dragging all the sizes of the images. You just drop in the videos into the timeline, and that's how you go about making the video itself. Now, I will share with you that it's going to look something like this. So you're going to have your full audio file, and then you're going to have all these video files. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that they're in the videos themselves is that at the first minute or so of each video, I have an animated video as part of the intro. So it looks like this, right? So it's going to be the actual character animated, moving through things like this, okay? So this is just to get people into the video enough and engaged enough so that they keep on watching, right? And these videos have pretty good retention. As you can see from the actual analytics themselves, if we go through, you're going to see that the watch times, like you have 35, 40%, 46%, and these are like at least getting a couple thousand views, right? So the retention on the videos as a new channel is actually pretty good considering how a lot of it's just images, right? So if we go back here, how did I actually create those images, right? So if I go to hello.ai, I can go to the video section, and all I need to do is drop in the files. So if I go right here to images, I have all the images that were rendered out of TubeGen, and I can just drop one in and then hit create the animated image, and then I get out that video that I just showed you, which is going to be something like this. So here's one example. I had an image come out of the tool, and then if I just slide on over, I basically ran that through hello.ai or whatever the tool is called. And then you can see that it turned into this right here, right? So obviously that's more engaging for a viewer to see the animated videos. Now, the reality is you don't want to necessarily do all animated because it's just going to cost too much to do that. It's going to be too time consuming and then probably not worth your time at that point. So the cool part is you don't need to animate it. And once you have, let's say 10 videos made, you're going to have enough of these little clips and images that you can just start reusing them, okay? And I did, and I didn't have any issues with like reuse content. So now once you get to the point where you have all the animated clips, you have the images from the videos, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add in all that footage into CapCut. All right, so here, if we take a look right here, you're gonna have a zoom in function. So that's gonna allow your video to have some sort of like a Ken Burns effect where you're zooming in and out. That's gonna keep things engaging. The videos are gonna transition, right? So you're gonna see transitions that are gonna change from scene to scene, and then you're gonna have captions as well. So if we just take a look at, let's just say, this video right here, and what we can do is we can open up the video. I just want to show you what it
You're scrolling
effectively
through
looks
social
like.
media and you see another post about someone retiring early on dividend income. They're sipping
So you can see that the video's zooming in and out, and it's also going to transition, and you have the captions right here.
coffee on a beach somewhere while their portfolio pays all their bills. You think to yourself, that sounds amazing, but I'm 35 and barely have anything saved. There's no way I could do that in 3 years. What if I told you that retiring on dividends in just 3 years isn't just possible, but that the math actually works? Now, before you roll...
So you can see here that, again, there's enough movement that keeps people engaged. And even when you have like the static images later on,
by year 10, you're earning 800
there is still some movement because of, the zoom in and out effect, right? So again, this is all easily doable within CapCut. It takes about 1 or 2 minutes to apply these settings, and then you're good to go. So now let's talk about the thumbnails, because the thumbnails, again, we want to make sure that there's something that's engaging, that is consistent with the brand, and that doesn't take a lot of skill, right? You don't need to be a designer to do this. You just need to have some sort of, understanding of what tools are involved and how to make the images. So if I go over here, basically one of the things you need to think about is, how do I find those high performing thumbnails that are going to allow me to really create an engaging thumbnail and packaging for my video? So if you take a look at this, basically what I did was I just found, the example channel in the niche. One of them was Nick Invests. And I thought to myself, okay, this is an outlier video of, let's say, almost 2x. And you have, seemingly Peter Griffin here getting money poured on him that says $1,000 a month in dividends. So what I'm going to do right now is share with you how I created the images that you see on these thumbnails right here. Again, this is totally free to do. So this is hopefully going to be, pretty engaging for you, as you can do it easily yourself. Okay. So what I'm going to do is open up Canva, and I'm also going to open up ChatGPT, and I'm going to show you exactly how I went about doing it. So if we go here, the first thing that we're going to want to do, and again, this is one of the thumbnails on the videos, is I'm going to open up ChatGPT and show you how I made these characters, so you don't have to pay a designer to make them for you. So I'm going to open up ChatGPT right here, and you're going to see that I can't get the prompt right now. Let's just see here. So you can see here exactly how I made the image. So if we go right here, basically you can see that I'm saying, okay, I like this image. This is the reference. Can you make it with my character? So what I did after making the initial character, which I basically just said, like, can you make this person, is that I came into ChatGPT and I said, I like this design. So I'd like you to make my character in the same hammock, but make it leopard print. So then it made it leopard print, right? And so what I did down below is I just kept saying, hey, here are the different iterations, and I wanted purple pajamas, right? So what I did was I got this image, and then I just used Canva to basically remove all these elements except for him in the hammock, okay? And so then the next thing that I needed to do was I needed to make the design. So I made the design in Canva, and I'm going to show you how I did this right now. So after I had the image, all I did was I took the image, and actually I can show you exactly how I did it. If I download this, and then what I can do is show you what the process looks like. So if we go here, basically what I did is I took the image. So let's just add a new one. And I took the image like this, and I thought to myself, I don't want all these extra scrappy things. So I just used the editor here to start removing these elements, okay? So I started removing this, and this, and this, and I went erase, okay? And so those get deleted, and I'm good to go. So I did that for everything else, right? And then I basically just put the image right here, and then I just used text. I used red as text because it's obviously pretty engaging. You can use black, other colors. But again, all you need to do is add text here. Pretty simple, right? Okay, So that's how I got my images. I basically just prompted ChatGPT with an initial image. It can do Simpson style, it can do cartoon style pretty easily. If you feed it what the reference is, you're good to go. And then as you saw with ChatGPT, I was able to add in text to the thumbnail itself. Now let's talk about the titles. So the titles are going to be, pretty simple to make because you already have references of what's working. So I just basically emulated winning titles and I made the titles low barrier to entry, okay? So as you can see here, one of my reference videos was you can live off $500,000 in the bank and do nothing else. So what I decided to do, I thought, okay, what is going to be a lower and easier barrier to overcome, living off 300K instead of having to save 500K. And then I thought to myself, okay, well, people may not believe that you can live off 300K, so I'm just going to say how to actually live off only 300K to really push people to understand that it is possible, right? So you can see the video did pretty well considering it's a new channel. So what I want to share with you is one way that you can create titles, right? Because outside of the titles that you're seeing for reference channels, let's just say we decided that we wanted to look at this video right here. Maybe we were making a video similar to this. So what I want to share is an easily approachable way of creating titles for your video. So can you make 10 other iterations of this title? Why I like chat for this, I don't really like it for the initial iteration, but I like it to give me some extra ideas, right? So we had the initial of why your second million feels almost instant, faster than you think. So the crazy truth, your second million comes 10 times easier than your first. Why building wealth speeds up after your first million, right? So again, it's just to give you some other options, especially if you start, A/B testing your titles, or alternatively, you want to switch them up as your impressions start to flatline. Using a tool like this that's free is definitely something that I suggest, right? So basically get the reference title from a role model channel, and then you can iterate it using ChatGPT or your own brain GPT. So now what I want to do is share with you a financial breakdown of all the tools that I used and basically how this would allow you to run a profitable faceless YouTube channel. So here are all the tools that I used across the journey of building this channel in 21 days and getting it monetized. So I used ChatGPT for the images for the thumbnails, and I used it to create title iterations. I used Canva for the actual thumbnail itself. CapCut was used for the editing of the footage, but also too for the voiceover. Then we used Subscriber AI for the script, TubeLab to come up with the niche, TubeGen that was for the actual video elements themselves, so the images that were also in video files. Then we used Hello AI for animating the images that came out of TubeGen, and then we used vidIQ for picking the topics. So the total cost of tools for a month of videos was $410, but I ended up uploading 21 videos, so that puts my videos at a cost of $19.50 per. So really, to break even in this niche, I'd only need about 2,000 views per video, which again, as you start building an audience, is pretty easy to achieve. So you can see the results from the channel. 58,000 views in the 28 days, or the 21 or 2 days that I started uploading and actually uploaded consistently. So you can see here, obviously, that I didn't actually turn a profit on this month just because I wasn't monetized just yet. But let's say we assume that I continue to get only 58,000 views per month, then that would allow me to earn, $638 in revenue, and then that would allow me to profit $228. Now, the reality is you're obviously going to be able to scale up your channel more as you get more returning viewers. As you start to continue to upload, you have more cracks at getting those videos that are going to hit 50, 100, 250,000 views, and that's going to allow you to make thousands of extra dollars from your channel each and every month, right? So you can see I had a couple breakout videos already hit 15K, 20K views, but getting to those higher levels will just take a little bit more time. So right off the bat, assuming that first set of uploads from a brand new channel would be, in theory, if monetized, profitable, is a really good sign. And again, it probably takes about 1 hour to create these videos once you get things down pat. So if you just continue to upload over time, you can definitely do it. I know you have an extra 1 hour that you can allocate to a channel per day. So if you like this video, make sure that you subscribe and click on this next video, and I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars with Faceless YouTube channel. May interest you if you want to do the same.